I'll call the meeting to order of State Government Conference Committee with state government elections, transportation, and pensions, I think it is. Get that all in. So glad to have you all here today. We've got some good work in front of us, and so we're going to be adopting some provisions, but prior to that, we're going to go ahead and take the roll. Ms. Wilson?
Senator Kiffmeyer.
Present.
Representative Nelson.
Present.
Senator Newman.
Present.
Representative Hornstein.
Present.
Senator Howe.
Present.
Representative Murphy.
Murphy present.
Senator Jasinski. Representative Cagle.
Present.
Senator Dibble.
Dibble present.
Representative Nash.
Nash present.
Senator Jasinski. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Thank you, members. Appreciate that. Is the House in session right now?
No.
Yeah, they're not. Senate is, so we are having conference committees just like we do in the morning sometimes, and we come in early, so normal for this time. Senator Jasinski is on the Senate floor at this time. He may join us later. At any rate, we're going to take, I believe these have been posted, and so we're going to take a state government table right now, and the very top, it's a table, the very top left column has state fossil as the topic. So if you'd like to go ahead and take a look at that. And so we're going to have Ms. James and Mr. Gehring are going to go ahead, but before we start with that, I'm just going to mention that the grants to nonprofits, we're going to set that aside, so that's pulled off of this table right now. The MHFA will be pulled off of this table. We'll be doing the A98 amendment instead. The Board of Accountancy has already been done and passed off the chamber, so we can now remove that one. And then the Amateur Sports Center study is also going to be taken off for further work. So that's it. So, Ms. James, Mr. Gehring, you want to go ahead and...
Madam Chair, the table has, on the heading, in the upper right-hand corner says 5.19.22 agreement. That's how it's distinguished from the other comparison table, which also has the state fossil as the top item. So the top item on this agreement table is the state fossil, establishing the giant beaver as the state fossil. The next item is the LCC contracting authority. This allows the executive director of the LCC to enter into contracts on behalf of legislative entities with certain constraints. And the language here is the Senate language, which requires written approval of the executive council to enter into contracts over $50,000.
And Madam Chair, the next row on this table is House language, House Section 12, which relates to advisory opinions issued by the Department of Administration related to the open meetings law.
The next item is Senate language that eliminated a requirement for assessment of the costs of generating renewable energy on site for state building projects. 2 sections there. And then we're skipping the next item, the grants to nonprofits. And we're skipping the next item, which is the MHFA responsibilities.
And then, Madam Chair, the committee already adopted the A73 amendment in the last meeting, so I think we can skip over the Historical Society row there. And then move on to the Mississippi River Parkway Commission, which also has been adopted, the amendment A88. You adopted that previously. You mentioned passing over the Board of Accountancy because that's already been enacted. Then the standard of time is the next row, and that's the Senate provision.
The next item, the standard time, Senate Section 57, that puts the state on standard time in 2030, if before that point, Congress hasn't allowed the state to be on daylight savings time year-round. And then skipping the next item, the amateur sports, we're skipping that one. Then the next one, public land survey monument, Senate language. This requires the chief geospatial information officer to report on the status of the monuments and on the work needed to update them.
Thank you very much, Ms. James and Mr. Gehring. Appreciate that. Members, do you have any questions? Okay, seeing none. Representative Nelson, we have this table here. If you want to make a motion, maybe moving the document, but maybe specifically stating accept.
I'll move the, thank you. I'll move the, again, remember to turn the mic on. I'll move the document that's dated 5/19/22, with the exception of the grants to non-governmental organizations, the MHFA, and the Amateur Sports Center study, and I think that was,
Board of Accountancy.
and the Board of Accountancy, yes, thank you. So I'll move that document with those exceptions.
On that motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails, is adopted. Thank you very much. The next document that we have that is a table, Representative Nelson, I think we had also talked about doing this one and this one that are from the side-by-side. The energy one and the disability one. So, Ms. James and Mr. Gehring, what we're looking at is on page R25. There's a portion of disability language, section 33, 36, 37.
And Madam Chair, that's part of that comes out of the, was House language, and it came out of the disability, or the disability study group that.
Yes. Okay. Ms. James?
Madam Chair, these are House provisions, so I'll leave it to Mr. Gehring.
I didn't quite get you. Oh, Mr. Gehring.
Yeah,
Okay,
House
all right.
provisions, so.
Mr. Gehring?
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, so I'm understanding you're going to make a motion to adopt House Sections 33 on page R25 of the side-by-side, on page R26, House Section 36, and on page R27, House Section 37. Is that correct?
Yes. Representative Nelson?
That's my motion, Madam Chair.
All right. All right, members. On that motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails. Then we have another one that we work through.
Madam Chair, I'll move the R13A2, Senate Sections 14 and 15.
That's on pages R13 and 14. Ms. James, I'll give you a moment to get to that spot, and Mr. Gehring as well.
Madam Chair, I think that was in the table you've already adopted,
Yes.
so I'm not sure you need to move it again.
We already did it?
Madam Chair, yes, those items are on the table, so you've adopted those.
All right. Good. Okay.
And we didn't, I'll withdraw my
Sometimes
motion.
we just get that a little, that's great, okay. Then my thought was to stay on the state government area, and we have the A98. This has to do with the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency reporting. And this is taking this is House language, and then as noted here on the amendment, and then it is inserting some language as well. And so since this is House language, Mr. Gehring or Ms. James, do you want to?
Madam Chair and members, this amendment goes along with House Sections 55, 64, 65, and 66. This was listed on the table, but we had held it. But it's my understanding that you would adopt those sections as amended by the A98?
Yes. Yeah, we pulled out the housing one when we did the table, so we're just doing this separately.
And Madam Chair, I'm not sure, does this cover, and maybe Ms. James can, does this cover 64, 65, and 66? The language in that, you're amending that, or I thought we were going to include the language from that?
Right. I think
Madam
Ms.
Chair and
James, yeah.
Mr. Chair, yes, that's what I was describing. I think if you're doing the A98, I believe that also means you want to adopt 55, 64, 65, and 66
Yes.
of the
On
House.
top, Madam
In
Chair,
addition to
in
this.
addition to this, okay, that's one.
I would say this in addition to the other, because they go together.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Do we need to do anything as far as our pages in addition to the sections to make sure we have a complete motion?
Madam Chair, I can look for the R pages. There'd be R40 for section 55, R53 for section 64 and 65, and page R57 for section 66, again, on the House side.
So, Madam Chair, I'll move the House, should we do them separately, the R98?
Just the 98.
Okay, I'll move the A98 for now.
The A98 added to that will be page R40, section 55, R53, section 64 and 65, and R57, section 66, in addition to the language you see on the amendment A98.
And that's my motion, Madam Chair.
Okay. That is moved. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion prevails. By the way, for those of you online, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, and my apologies. Sometimes I maybe don't give you quite enough time. I will try and not do that. Try and get that in. Okay, so I think that is all of the state government things that we had.
We're going to that now.
Yes. I was just staying in the state government area. And then we're going to, well, we have two things now. We have a table, and then we have the separate amendments.
Yep.
So I was going to do the, this is the document for those of you, let me put some things away here so that I can get that stuff which is done. So now the document we're looking at now is on the top left, 2022 state government title, and then below that says items of agreement, elections article dated 5/16/2022, and those have all been posted. The table that we have here, I don't think there's anything that we were pulling anything.
Public accuracy, the envelopes, absentee, down.
Public accuracy.
This is the amendment.
Which amendment? Oh, yeah,
Yeah, there's that stuff.
we'll do that one separate.
I've got the one from yesterday, but
Mhm.
and that's the campaign.
Yeah, no, Madam Chair, I think we've got everything on there that we've agreed to, yes. That nothing's pulled off of that.
So Ms. James and Mr. Gehring, would you go through each one, or like we have?
Madam Chair, I think I'll start.
Oh,
if
I'm
that's okay.
sorry. Ms. Stengel.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. We'll start on the document that Senator Kiffmeyer outlined. The first line is a Senate provision that has to do with campaign finance registration thresholds, and it lowers the triggering point for a registration from $750 to $200. There is one change on the agreement, and that is that all of these sections will be effective on January 1st, 2023. The next is a provision that was in both bills, but taking different approaches, and the Senate language is the agreed upon language, and this has to do with, sorry, my Zoom was popping up here. This has to do with access to a membership location during a legislative session. And then Mr. Gehring will start at the top of the next page.
So Madam Chair, the next row there is a House-only section, so section 6 on page R8 of the side-by-side. You'll see the House section has been accepted with one modification. You see noted there to remove the reference to information that can be verified in another government database associated with the applicant's name and date of birth. And you see that line on page R9, lines 79.9 and 79.10. So with the exception of that phrase right there, the rest of the House language would be accepted. And then next, Madam Chair, is a series of House sections related to absentee ballot envelope terminology to be consistent across statutes with the use of secrecy envelope terminology. And then on page R20, there are standards related to the use of absentee ballot drop boxes. And again, this is House section 22, but limited to only the changes that you see on page R21, House lines 88.6 to 88.13, which matches up with the Senate language on that topic. Then next, Madam Chair, on page R25, there's more terminology related to the opening of absentee ballot envelopes. This would be accepting the House language, but only the change that you see on line 92.2 related to the absentee ballot envelope terminology updates, and not the rest of the language in House section 27.
And Madam Chair and members, the next is on R44. This is a Senate-only provision, and it amends the public accuracy testing notice, so it requires 14 days notice prior to accuracy testing, and then modifies the manner of notification, and that's adopted without change.
And last on this table, Madam Chair, is fairly straightforward. House section 52, it's on page R45 of the side-by-side. This is House-only language that allows participants in the Safe at Home program to participate in the presidential nomination primary process.
Just a moment. Okay. Representative Nelson,
I'll move that we adopt the language that in this chart.
You want to read the number off of yours? The five from 5.
Elections Article 516.
From 51622, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I just-
That was just read, et cetera. Okay, members, any questions? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. Motion prevails. Thank you. And then, Representative Nash, I'll go to you next. And this is the A71.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would move the A71. And the A71 is sort of a greater agreement on the absentee ballot outer envelope language. Wanted to say thanks to the two chairs for getting this done. It's going to be something that's quite helpful in clarifying what is and isn't an absentee ballot or absentee request form.
Thank you very much, Representative Nash. And we have a hand up, Representative Cagle.
Yeah, I had a question about the table before we voted on it, but. didn't
Oh,
recognize-
sorry. By the way, just in case, we have a lot of eyes trying to watch, but I'm not averse to the hand wave as well. Sometimes we can.
I was actually.
Let's
curious,
finish.
Madam Chair.
Let's finish what we have in front of us, and then I'll go back and get to your question. Okay, Representative Nash, again, this is the distribution of absentee ballot applications by third parties, not government officials.
Madam Chair, that is correct. And just wanted to, again, say this will be a nice clarifying thing, so many people are not confused when they get these request forms in the mail.
Probably very, very much so.
Yes.
All the flood of phone calls everybody got in regards to this. So hopefully, this is going to be helpful to do that. And we respect their right of free speech to do these sorts of things, but we also need to be sure we look out for the public interest here and clarity as far as what's happening. Thank you for your work on that, Representative Nash. With that, we have the A71 amendment. Any other discussion, members? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails. A71 is adopted. The next one I have here in front of us is the A7.
Madam Chair, you were going to go back.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Representative Cagle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I got my my question answered via text.
Wonderful. Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Then we're going to go to the A78 amendment. I believe this is also posted. And this is the amendment about public posting of results in the polling place.
And Madam Chair, I'll move the A78 amendment, and members and public, this is, the other day, Senator Kiffmeyer brought an amendment, and we just kind of tweaked it a little bit, but the only thing we did, instead of having the election judges having to make copies for everybody that comes and asks for a copy of the results, they will, if requested, they'll post one, and they can write down or take a picture with their phone with it. That way, the election judges, as they're finishing up their day, they won't be bothered by multiple candidates possibly coming in to the election place. And that's what this does, is that if they want to see the results from a particular polling place after the election is over and the election judges are finishing up their work, they can post this. Then they can read it and see it, and they are also not allowed to further disclose those to anybody else. And this goes with another provision that came from the Senate that's in the bill that we've already adopted.
Okay, members, on the A78, just to let you know, when they do post this, since the polls have closed, all the votes have been tallied, it is perfectly acceptable for them to take a picture of that and make use of it for their personal use, only not to publicly disclose it. With that, members, on that motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails and is adopted. All right, I think we have gotten through what we had in front of us today. And to let you know, we are working on, yes? Senator Dibble.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move a provision, if I may.
Which provision is that?
It's back in state government. If I could.
Can you just give us a page number so we can go?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the chart. It's found back in state government on both pages R4 and R61. This is house-only language, and it's the language that has to do with establishing a specific date for Juneteenth and then aligning that, the state observance of Juneteenth with establishing that as a holiday and aligning it with that date.
Is that section 3?
Yeah, Article 2, Section 3, House Article 2, Section 3.
On page R4?
Yeah, there's two sections that deal with the subject. So R4, here, let me just go to the actual. Yeah, so, yeah, if you look at R4-A2, line 15.9, so that's section 3. And then R61, of that same,
Did you have another page, did you say?
yeah, hang on one.
R61, I believe he's looking R61.
R61 dash
section 69.
And,
Okay,
Yeah.
same subject.
yeah, section 69 that starts on 66.1.
Now that we're on the same page, Senator Dibble, did you want to discuss it, or did you want to make a motion, or?
Yeah, well, I would move both of those.
Okay.
And, you know, I think this would bring us into alignment with a number of other states that have done the same. It's a federal holiday, recognized federal holiday now as well. It costs no money. So, you know, great historical significance, particularly to the African-American community. And it's, I know, a big celebration and observance for a lot of our state employees.
Thank you very much, Senator Dibble. The Senate is not agreeing to those two sections, so I will not be supporting that.
Well, one little element of the Senate is.
Appreciate it. All right. So members, that is a motion then, Senator Dibble? Or is that just?
That was a motion,
It was
yes.
a motion, okay. So members, on that motion, we do not have all of our members here, either from the House or Senate. I just want to be sure, since this is something not posted and not presented ahead of time.
And Madam Chair,
Senator Dibble.
while we're waiting for folks to come, I don't know if Ed Reynoso is here. This is the product of a conversation I had with him. You know, he's representing public employees. I don't know if you want to hear from him on the advisability of the matter or not. You know, it's an important celebration commemorating the end of slavery. And it kind of grows out of some historical events in our country's past. I don't see him, so.
Thank you. They can vote online as well. We're just
If
making
we,
sure
if-
that we have them
yeah,
all.
If
Just
it's going
wanna-
to be a hassle, I can bring this motion up at a later point in time.
Might be helpful.
Okay.
Since we're on the floor.
We're all
in
kind of
chamber.
scattered around. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll
other
just,
committees.
I'll make the motion at some point in the
Withdraw
future.
it then and bring
I'll
it up
withdraw.
another time?
Yes,
Okay.
thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, members, anything else? I don't have anything else, Mr. Chair, do you? Do you have any other announcements?
Madam Chair, as of right now, watch for a meeting possibly tomorrow. We got our targets late. I'm trying to what day, what week, daily Tuesday. So yesterday morning was the first time we had to look at them and work on them. The House sent an offer to the Senate. We're waiting for a return reply. And so I guess that's where we're at right now. I believe most of our language, except for a couple of outstanding ones that are being worked on, one being the newspapers and the notices they put in the paper. And I think there's one other one there's just a couple things that are outstanding that haven't been agreed upon or voted on. So Madam Chair, I think we can, House is waiting for the return.
It's in your inbox. We sent it before the
Okay,
hearing. We just,
I haven't seen
I know.
it yet, yes.
You were full of things and I wasn't going to,
Anyway, so Madam Chair, that's where we're at right now, so hopefully we can come to agreement on the spending and then wrap this up.
all right, fantastic. That is going to be our primary focus now. Having gotten a lot of good things done here, that we will continue to do that. And please stay tuned to your email, listserv, postings, those kinds of things. So we'll get notice out as soon as we can. All right, with all of that, business for today being completed, we are adjourned.